All right. Hello, everyone. Back with another client success interview. I am here today with Aaron Chen. I believe you joined us about 5 months ago at this point, and we've had a pretty interesting journey with some pretty impressive results. So that's what we're here to talk about today. So, Aaron, do you want to kind of tell everyone a little bit more about yourself, introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name's Aaron. I'm actually based in Malaysia. I've been marketing online for 16 years. Took me a long time to figure stuff out. I teach affiliate marketing. I'm an affiliate marketing coach, and I met Otavio and Harris online, and really wanted them to help me with my lead generation, especially on social media, things like Instagram. I was trying to figure that out for a long time, couldn't, and then I met these guys, and these guys helped me to get some great results.
Awesome, man. Yeah. And so I guess diving into that, kind of before you started working with us, where were you at in terms of like what were you mostly struggling with? What did kind of the business look like at that point?
Yeah, so the business was already pretty good because I've been doing it for a while, but I was generating most of my leads from YouTube. So YouTube was my
Hmm.
bread and butter. And I was doing okay on TikTok, but I was really trying to break through with Instagram. So I was already getting leads and sales, but I was really trying to figure out how to blow up on Instagram. And that's where I was really struggling. Um, and with Instagram, I had been trying it for about 2 years. I'd bought a whole bunch of different courses, stuff that was more traditional, just doing posts, and then stuff where they focused on reels. I spent a bunch of money on that kind of stuff, went through a whole bunch of Instagram accounts because some of the strategies that they were teaching me weren't very good. I found out in the end, right? They were using a lot of strategies that were actually pretty dodgy and was affecting the algorithm basically. And then really I joined your program to figure out how to blow up on Instagram properly and create, short form content. Um, and that's kind of where I was when I met you guys. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, got it. And that was then about 5 months ago, correct? Did I get that right?
That was about 5 months ago. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. And then what have the results been kind of since you joined us? You obviously like joined and then about a month or two and decided to restart the account.
Yeah.
And what is that from scratch? What does that kind of look at like?
Yeah, so we started with my current account, with an old account, which I thought was pretty good, but it wasn't. And then so we restarted from zero. And I was really nervous to do that, to be honest. But trusted Harris, I mean, his channels are just huge. His videos are doing so well. So started from scratch and, just really trusted the process, worked with him very closely. And the thing I want to mention about working with you guys is that it's one thing to get the actual videos, but to get that sort of feedback where you understand that someone starting from zero on a particular platform is really nice. And he was very encouraging, and that was actually what kept me going because I did exactly what he said, but it took a little while for us to get there, right? So when you start a channel from scratch, it's kind of nerve-wracking because I put in so much work, but he's like, listen, just trust me on this. Just start from scratch. We're going to try a whole bunch of different formats, and one is going to blow up eventually. It might take a little bit of time, but just trust me on this. And I did. And eventually it just blew up. So we did that for about maybe a month and a half. And then I had one piece of content that just exploded. It went from like 0 views to hundreds of thousands of views. That particular reel is done more than 2 million views now. And that was the reel that really made my channel pop, right? So all of a sudden, Instagram sees my channel, quote unquote, sees my channel. Everything just increases. And then I started doing a few similar type of videos. And then we started testing a few different formats. And then it just continued to explode. So I went from zero. Now I've got about 40, 41. Hold on one second. Just let me check. 41.2 thousand followers. It's insane. And my average video on Instagram used to do about 300 views. They call it the 300 view jail, right? I've got videos doing like, 2,000,000, 800,000, 500,000. If I get anything less than like 5,000 views, I'm sad that day, right? But on average, they'll do like 10,000, 40,000, just hundreds of thousands of views. It's mad. It's insane. Um, and then on top of that, I'm generating leads, right? So that's really, it's not just about the views. I'm here to generate the leads so I can make customers and sales. and I was averaging about 1 to 3 leads per day previously before I met you guys. And then after stuff started blowing up, I mean, my best day was like 200 leads, 500 clicks on my link, 200 leads, 210 leads, just like night and day. So it's been a pretty incredible journey. Um, and what I came here to get, I got, which was really cool. Yeah.
That's insane, man. That is like we trust. I trust Harris and like believe in our process, all of that. And I knew we could help you. I
Yeah.
can't lie though. When we first spoke, I did not think it was gonna be like that. Like be able to get that growth, like 0 to 40K in like 3 months, completely organic. Like I've almost never seen that. That is like amazing. But obviously you'd built that foundation before, right? And so it was just like getting those extra little nuggets to be able to kind of take it to the next level and find that format that works was what kind of got that there, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I mean, definitely going through, I mean, I've been doing video for a long time, but I've never done video at this level, because Instagram is such a tricky platform, right? They're very unforgiving. So you really have to kind of level up your game. It's so funny. We're just talking. I just got a sale that popped in as we're doing this interview. I don't know if
There
you
we
heard that
go.
beep. Uh,
Yeah.
and that's through the leads that's coming through, Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that, which is really cool. Um,
So
but it actually forced me to level up my game, and that's not a bad thing, right? I always thought that I was pretty good at video, but like I have never ever done video like I've been doing right now on Instagram, and that's why it's working so well, and it's really pushing me as an entrepreneur, as a marketer, and it's really good. So I'm really happy about that as well, and it's a direct reflection on the results, because I don't think that there's no way that I could get 2 million views on a video making videos like I used to in the past, right? And so it's been really cool, and it's really interesting, Otavio, because I've seen people in my space. So I'm in the make money space, the business space, and it's a very competitive space. And when I compare myself to other creators in this space, like honestly, some of my stuff is outperforming them, and they've been doing it for so long. A lot of their channels, they're doing like 5,000 views a video, 8,000 views a video. And for me previously, I was thinking to myself, if I could just get to like 3 to 5,000 views per video, I'm going to be so happy. But now it's like, if I don't get like 100,000 views a video, I'm a little bit sad, to be honest, because the standard is so high. And the stuff that Harris does, I mean, if on Harris's channel, I mean, he's doing like hundreds of thousands, millions of views per video, right? And I'm basically implementing what he taught me, and so the standard is just so much higher, and it's just really cool, yeah, to see that.
yeah, that's awesome, man. I guess like to give a little bit of insight. Obviously, you don't have to drop all the secret sauce, but what has been some of the things that like maybe
Yeah,
some key like differences and things that you've been working on that you feel like has made that big difference working with Harrison? That
yeah. So Harris is very analytical. He goes very deep into why a video works, right? So the hook, how do you engage the person, and then just kind of understanding that with Instagram, especially if you start from zero, from organic, you really do have to try a lot of different things to see what actually works and what the algorithm picks up. And once it does that, then you basically just replicate that, and find new formats. But a lot of the things is understanding how to keep the viewer engaged, right? So it's not
Mhm.
just about doing what you think will work, or maybe copying what other people will work, because just because something works on another business channel doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for your channel, right? So it's about finding what works for your channel and then dialing that in. And so for me, it was about how do you keep someone engaged? What are the different tricks that you can use? What are the different techniques, right? Um, yeah, I used to just do videos where I just would just kind of shoot and talk the whole time, and that's just so boring for people on Instagram. So I kind of learned how to do different scenes. I learned how to do script writing. I never used to script write. I just used to think about the hook, and then I would just shoot the whole video in one shot. Now I actually, every morning, I've actually changed up my schedule for this. Every morning is the first thing I do. I'll grab out my script. I'll think about the hook I want to create, and then I'll write. I actually spend just a little bit of time, 5-10 minutes writing the script, and then I shoot my Instagram videos first thing in the morning. I get it out to my editor, and then that's done for the day. And then I work on my other stuff. So yeah, it's been a really cool learning process, and it's helped me to also work well with my editor, because I never used to do it in that kind of style. And so yeah, just leveling up as a marketer, as an entrepreneur, which is awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And yeah, I was even thinking like by the time someone's watching this in the future, or like this interview even goes out, I don't know how many. You're probably going to be at like 100,000, 200,000. Like the rate you're growing, it's crazy. So it's probably going to seem like small numbers by the time you're watching this back. You're going to be like, "What? I'm not happy with 1 million views now." Like crazy stuff. So I guess
uh,
on that note, where do you kind of see yourself the next kind of like based on the results so far, what are your kind of plans and where do you kind of see the next 6, 12 months? What is like the next for you then? Is it to continue to blow this account up? Is it like other platforms? What are you thinking now?
yeah, I think I just want to, focus on, well, the things that I'm already doing outside of this program, like the YouTube, the TikTok. So I'm going to maintain that, but I'm really going to be focusing, hard on Instagram and seeing where I can go. Honestly, uh, I didn't expect the results to be this good. I thought it would be like, 5,000, 8,000 views kind of thing and slowly grow. But I mean, this thing is just popping like crazy. So I'm hoping, the next 6 to 12 months, wow, 500,000 followers, um, is very possible. Getting consistent to maybe over 500,000 views per video, a million views, kind of going up there. Just figuring out which format works really well with my audience, and then getting even more leads. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the views, right? It's about how many leads you're getting, dialing that into customers and sales on the back end, and really making Instagram, one of my main sources of traffic. I never thought it would be. I thought it would just be like, maybe 10, 20, 30 leads a day. But I mean, 200 leads a day is madness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. With that being said, I guess in terms of you mentioned earlier that like you had tried different programs, especially for Instagram specifically, it hadn't quite worked out. I guess like how do you feel like we were
Yeah.
different in this scenario? How what do you think this time was different that actually allowed it to work compared to all those other kind of programs that didn't quite work out?
Yeah, it's really interesting because your program is not just based on traffic. It's a full program. It's like understanding how to attract people and then bringing them into the back end, monetizing and stuff like that. And we haven't even spoken about any of that. I really got into your program just for the front end, because I
Yeah.
already have my back end. But um, even that alone, just the front end, is so different from the traffic programs. Like I've been in quite a few just Instagram specific programs, and even your Instagram training is already way better than these other programs because you guys actually go down into the sort of the really analytical parts about why someone would stay on the video, how to tweak it. You talk a lot about scripting. A lot of these trainings that I've been through in the past, a lot of these coaching programs, they don't really talk about scripting. They don't really talk about different characters and what attracts different people and things like that. Also, with your program, I mean, Harris is really good, right? I mean, I'm sure Otavio, you do the same thing. I message Harris directly, and then he'll send me like a recording. I'll show him my screen, and then he'll actually send me a recording. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, kind of breaking down what he thinks. And I think that hands-on approach is really great because a lot of other programs, they don't do that. They might send you a reply on text in a Facebook group or in whatever group that they're using, but sometimes it's not enough detail to get the student to actually understand and take more action, right? So I just kind of worked with Harris back and forth. It was like I gave him feedback, he took a look at my stuff, gave me feedback, I worked on that feedback, and I think it was just that constant encouragement. It's just like, Aaron, just trust me. I know this sounds weird. I know it might be frustrating, but if you just keep doing this, I know that it's going to blow up. And I think it was that type of encouragement and confidence that made me keep going, even though I've been doing this for a long time. I've been
Right.
here for 16 years, right? But when you're trying something for so long and it's not working, you're like, this isn't working, man. But like, he just, you guys really know what you're doing. So it's just like that encouragement and confidence made me feel confident about it. And I just kept doing it. And then when you see, when it finally blows up, you're like, these guys, they really know what they're talking about. And that's why I think that's the difference between this program and a lot of the other stuff that I've been through. Um, a lot of the other stuff is not so, I didn't really feel that confidence. It's a little bit more transactional, but this is like you're really kind of bought into the student's business, which is really awesome. So thank you for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Awesome. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I guess a last question there would be like if there is someone who is perhaps a little bit on the fence about working with us because maybe they have been in other programs out there that haven't quite worked out for them, or they're just a little bit hesitant. I guess what would you tell someone
Yeah.
in that position? Because I remember our initial call, there was a little bit of hesitancy because naturally you'd been in these other programs and it hadn't quite
Yeah.
worked out the way you want. So I guess what would you tell someone in that situation, I suppose?
Yeah, I would say don't even think about it, At the end of the day, it's about the results that you want to get. And if you want your business to be successful, then definitely work with Otavio and Harris because these guys know what they're doing, right? Whether it's just on the front end lead stuff that you're trying to fix, or you're trying to fix the whole thing, or maybe just the back end, these guys know what they're talking about. I've been in so many programs. I've been doing this for 16 years. I've literally spent hundreds of thousands of US dollars, okay, on my own education. Uh, I've been through so many programs. This is a very, very good program. These guys care. So I think that if you're serious about your business success, whatever niche you're in, you should definitely join these guys. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. It's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure. I guess any final thoughts you'd like to tell the viewers before we kind of wrap it up there?
No, I think just if you get into the program, just really work the program. It is a big program, and I mean, online business success takes a while. So just be ready to go through that process and understand that it is a process. Trust the process. Trust these guys. Just chip away at it, and you will have success. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Appreciate it, Aaron. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks, Otavio. Thanks for everything.